Welcome, everybody, to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show featuring Dr. Carolyn Dean. Join Dr. Dean for the next 2 hours along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders, also known as Ginny Almighty. Join Dr. Dean as she shares with us her vast range of experience, knowledge, talent, and wisdom. Phone lines are now open, and we'll be taking your calls from around the world and here in the USA.
Welcome everyone to Live with Dr. Carolyn Dean, or Dr. Carolyn Dean Live, however you say it, here on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting humankind with universal love, or as I say, uniting the entire world with one of the most preeminent medical and natural doctors of our time, our very own Dr. Carolyn Dean, MD, ND, CN. I am here. Ginny Sanders, also known as Ginny Almighty, to be with you for the next 2 hours and to celebrate this life that we have, this cellular life, this abundant life, this joyful life that we have in our physical bodies here on the face of the earth. No matter what time we are at in history, what challenges us or what befalls us, we do know this one thing: we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And that means that we are so unique, so amazing. And the divine intelligence, the incredible intelligence that is in us is here equipped every day to provide us with so much benefit. And the person who knows that the very most in the whole wide world and has taught me that for the last 11 years now is our very own Dr. Carolyn Dean, the author, of course, of the Magnesium Miracle. And now something that we can add to her CV, her curriculum vitae, is the nomination for the very prestigious Dr. Rogers Prize, a prize being extended in Canada for a doctor who has had an incredible influence on complementary and alternative medicine. Her nomination being sponsored by Lorraine Andrus of our True Health Canada, our distributor in Canada, and many others who have come to recognize Dr. Dean's incredible wisdom, her ability, her benefits, her stand on public health, and also her formulas, which she created as a response to people basically saying, I know I need to do something different, and I do want to do something different, and I have read your books, i.e. The Magnesium Miracle, circa 2004, i.e. Death by Modern Medicine, a total tongue lashing of allopathic medicine and their androgenic death rates and the cause of dying among doctors, or death prescribed by doctors, by drugs, by drug companies. Her Future Health Now series, which she wrote in 2008. And finally, in 2010, again, in the ongoing demand of the public, please, 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 Dr. Dean, won't you help us to begin to start with the RNA drops, Realign, Renew Serum, Remag, and Remite in that order, and to launch her complement formulas now, completely and totally complete at rnareset.com. Dr. Dean's CV, I believe, that we submitted for the Dr. Rogers Prize. And Carolyn's always a stickler for details, so I don't want to say this in a haphazard way. I'm actually trying to achieve the end of the document that we submitted. And I believe that it is, I've got my screens bumping me and competing with me here, but it's handsomely 138 pages long, half of which we took out because we had to cap the length of her accomplishments at less than 150 pages. So look, you are in great fortune tonight and every night, every Monday night, and anytime you join us to hear my very good friend, Dr. Dean, talk about the most important thing you, and the next most important thing your health, your vitality, your well-being, and then the next most important thing, which is how to achieve it in a safe way, in a way that will not only help you achieve the health that you want and the well-being that you want, but it's going to help you achieve a buoyancy in your life, and it's going to build on itself and continue to extend yourself into other areas of your life, i.e. relationships, money, career, etc. Because, when one thing is off, especially when your health is, the whole thing's off. And Dr. Dean knows this. So I bring with great joy her to you this evening. I will say this is not a medical advice show. This is you talking with Dr. Dean from your heart about the things that are important to you. She will, of course, always take your call through this medium and give you an opportunity to get the answers that you're seeking. And these days, people are seeking a lot of safe solutions for their health. And with that, without any further ado, I believe that once again, I will be my great joy to introduce you to the very delightful, the very lovely, the very talented, and now a nominee for the Rogers Prize in the lovely country of Canada, our very own Dr. Carolyn Dean.
Thank you, Ginny. Thank you, children. I accept the nomination. I will be your steward in health and wellness as long as I shall live. How's that for an acceptance speech, Ginny? Will that work?
That was wonderful. Yay!
I sounded a little pedantic, though. I'll have to work on that. But anyway, in the meantime, folks, the worst is over. You're here with us. The worst is over. I have my list of little quotes, Ginny, I'm going to say. Remember how I say the scientist rigorously defends his or her right to be ignorant of most everything except their own specialty. Well, that has new legs these days because of the scientists who decided that the virus, which shall go unnamed, was made in a bat cave and not made in a lab. So we basically can't trust scientists anymore. You have to trust yourself, folks. And unfortunately, here's another saying, we've educated the common sense out of people. We have. And what we have supposedly leading the band these days are medical illiterates. Medicine knows nothing about nutrition, so it knows nothing about 3/4 of your body. Your body is run by nutrients. 80% of known metabolic functions require magnesium. So if doctors didn't even learn about magnesium in med school, how can they tell you anything about your body? Medical illiterates. And personally, I liked it. I don't know if it was a rant or I just said a few weeks ago that I felt old when I was young because of magnesium deficiency. I had the aches and pains, the headaches, the insomnia, everything that a person might say, oh, I'm just getting older. So to me, age does not exist. It really doesn't. And we can tell you the stories of our customers in their 80s, people who get saturated with magnesium, take our products, and yes, I'm saying I want you to take all the products. I'm sorry, but it's come to that. With the stress on us, with the environment changing, with the bad food, with everything that's going on, we do have to defend our bodies as well as support our bodies with nutrients. And that's, over a dozen formulas. I apologize, but what we say is you'll have enough energy, more energy and more stamina to get back to work and be able to afford your formulas. I know that sounds crass, but more and more we're finding that people get better and better when their whole body is supported with the right nutrients. So that's most of my sayings. I mean, the last one actually is don't give the negative stories about your health or your illnesses, don't give them legs and arms and wings that will just make them have a home in your head. You really have to stop saying negative words about what's going on, because the more you are positive, the more you will live a positive life. Housekeeping notes, join our prescription service so you get your products monthly. Refer your practitioner, whoever it is, massage therapist, anybody can be involved who's helping people. Referral candy, we still have the 15% discount. You know, the times are changing where supplements, we call our formulas, our supplements. Sorry, our supplements. We try not to call them supplements. They are completements, and they're being blackballed on Facebook and Amazon, etc. So soon you won't be able to give testimonials for nutrients on Amazon, so people won't have a clue what they're buying or what they want to buy. So we are going to be depending more and more on our customers to refer to us. And we'll honor your referral with a 15% discount every time you refer someone new, and they purchase and they get a 50% discount. We want you to get your blood testing done, the home blood test kit. For that, you just go to the research link at the top of RNA Reset, and remember to repeat your test as well. And our magnesium deficiency survey or quiz, 7 questions, we are up to 423,000 people who filled out this survey. And the numbers, the percentage of people who have magnesium deficiency symptoms is increasing. I mean, that's all I can say. 36.9% with headaches, 68.7% with insomnia, 61.1% with muscle cramps, 49.5% with palpitations, and 55.6% with restless legs. That used to be lower. New versions of all the 22 books are at drcarolyndeanlive.com. And at the top, the homepage of Dr. Carolyn Dean Live is our nutrients paper, the journal Nutrients. The paper is titled Circulating Ionized Magnesium as a Measure of Supplement Bioavailability. We're both trying to promote the use of an ionized magnesium blood test so we have more accurate readings and we can help more people, because as it stands now, the serum magnesium test doesn't catch, probably they don't catch 65-70% of people who are low in magnesium. And at the same time, we're measuring the absorption of our Remag. We've got a molecular size analyzer that's confirmed that the majority of the particle size of Remag is in the picometer range. So we've proven that. Your chemist or physicist friend will say, well, you can't call a magnesium picometer in size, that's just not possible. But we've proven that it's quite possible. Thank you very much. And yes, just before I go to the blog of today, which is about migraines and headaches, but mostly migraines, I wonder myself, and I'm sure most people do, wonder what action can we take to stand up for natural medicine. And what I decided, I noticed from blog that, well, it's not a blog, what would it be? Just a regular email I get from a group called Alliance for Natural Health. They're a organization that does support natural health, and what they have is a action whatever projects, I guess you could say. And this one came in June 3rd. And the title was Fed's Warped Logic on Supplements. And what it is, it's a research review from the National Institute of Health shows the promise of dietary supplements in fighting infections that will go unnamed, yet concludes that there isn't enough evidence to recommend them. So then they have an action alert. And they go on, according to the NIH review, there's science showing that vitamin D helps with this, that, and the other thing, and other things help. But the Congress, I think they're being asked to pass a bill that allows health savings accounts so that a person can cover their natural products. I guess what you could do there is go to the website, just type in Alliance for Natural Health and go to their action. And what I did is I just signed the letter that they had up there asking simply that our own money that, we put into insurance, that we can use that money to get a tax break for buying our supplements, or in our case, our formulas. So my senator from Hawaii, Schatz, he wrote back and just said, thank you for sharing your support for expanding health savings account eligibility to dietary and nutritional supplements. Appreciate your comments, et cetera, et cetera. Certain supplements may qualify as eligible expenses if a physician determines that they are medically necessary. So there you go. You have to go to a doctor, pay, $50, $75 copay to get a letter that allows you to buy some supplements, even though the doctor doesn't have a clue about the importance of supplements. He says, I recognize that supplements for general health maintenance are not currently eligible expenses. Please be assured I will keep your comments in mind as the Senate considers this and related issues. So, that small, tiny baby step of something to do, but, supposedly the more people that write these letters and sort of harangue their representatives, something might happen. So, Ginny, I just want to stop and ask Ginny, would you do something like that, Ginny? Do you think taking an action like that has any influence at all?
I believe so. I still think I might be naive in thinking that, but we have health savings accounts through our benefit offering that we're doing at work, and it's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And if those monies could be used for nutrition, that would be fantastic. Mm-hmm. So it's worth it to write that letter because, it's what people want to do. We have a lot of people contact us and ask us for concessions for specific things, and especially if they're unexpectedly sick or whatever. Sometimes we can help, sometimes we can't. But the point is that if the money that you've already allocated, and it is tax deferred money, as you know, Carolyn, can be put to use for your benefit and something that matters to you, that is the way your dollars should be spent. So I say write those letters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a political letter in any way. It's a health letter for a group of individuals who may not realize the importance of nutrients. That's not their whatever bailiwick. They haven't got a clue. They've been lobbied by drug companies so much that they haven't even thought about natural health in any way. I'm just emailing Ginny URL if you want to put it on the chat.
I will. Yep. I will.
Yep. So today's blog is about National Migraine and Headache Awareness Month, a whole month. So I'd rather it be June is National Magnesium for Migraines and Headache Month. Seriously. I mean, what did they hope to achieve here? Because the more you read about migraines, the more you just see they're trying to throw so many drugs at it. There's nobody trying to prevent these terribly painful occurrences. So what we have in the blog then, which is at drcarolyndeanlive.com, is 25 million Americans suffer from migraines, more women than men, especially in the 20 to 50 year age group. And the following biochemical events involving low magnesium have been identified in migraine sufferers. In women, estrogen rises before the period, causing a shift of blood magnesium into bone and muscle. As a result, magnesium levels in the brain are lowered. When magnesium is low, it is unable to do its job to counteract the clotting action of calcium in the blood. And tiny blood clots are said to clog up the blood vessels lead in the head that can lead to migraines. Similarly, magnesium inhibits excess platelet aggregation, preventing the formation of tiny clots that block these blood vessels and cause pain. Low brain magnesium promotes neurotransmitter hyperactivity and nerve excitation that can lead to headaches. Several conditions that trigger migraines are also associated with magnesium deficiency, including pregnancy, alcohol intake, diuretic drugs, stress, and menstruation. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels and allows them to dilate, reducing the spasms and constrictions that cause migraines. Magnesium regulates the action of brain neurotransmitters and inflammatory substances, which may play a role in migraines when unbalanced. Magnesium relaxes muscles and prevents the buildup of lactic acid, which along with muscle tension can worsen head pain. I mean, that's incredible. What you look at that and you think, oh my gosh, that's just, there's some common sense there, I guess you would say. But you look up migraines, the cause of migraines, and medicine will say it's undetermined, they're idiopathic. Idiopathic, let me just look up the definition of idiopathic. So it says it's relating to or denoting any disease or condition which arises spontaneously or for which the cause is unknown. So I always thought it's just idiot pathetic, because most of it is about medical illiterates who don't know that conditions are caused by nutrient deficiencies. So the rest of this blog, I don't think I'll read it through, but it's taken from the Magnesium Miracle, the chapter on headaches. And it basically talks about thousands of patients in studies where they took as little as 200 milligrams of magnesium daily and had an 80% reduction in their migraines. Another group took 300 milligrams twice a day, and the frequency of migraines reduced by 41%. And the best tribute to magnesium and migraines is Dr. Moskop, Mauskop. He has a migraine clinic in New York and in Manhattan. And he's had sufficient clinical success and published enough papers about treating migraine with magnesium to title his 2012 paper, quote, "Why All Migraine Patients Should Be Treated with Magnesium," unquote. And he enthuses that all migraine sufferers should receive a therapeutic trial of magnesium supplementation. He explains, a multitude of studies have proven the presence of magnesium deficiency in migraine patients. Double-blind, placebo-controlled trials have produced mixed results, but as Dr. Muscott writes, this is most likely because both magnesium deficient and non-deficient patients were included in their trials. That means that their blood magnesium levels weren't taken before they were given magnesium for the trial. The people who already had magnesium might not benefit as much as people who had magnesium deficiency. Unlike other research papers that hem and haw when it comes to conclusions, Dr. Muscott's paper makes a declarative statement. He says, considering that up to 50% of patients with migraines could potentially benefit from this extremely safe and very inexpensive treatment, it should be recommended to all migraine patients. And, you know, there's more text in the Magnesium Miracle. A study in 2016 found the likelihood of migraine attacks is increased 35 times in sufferers with low serum magnesium. That's serum too. If we did ionized magnesium, it would be much higher. So then I ask, does allopathic medicine have anything new or better to offer migraine sufferers? Unfortunately not. They have a new class of migraine drugs called triptans, and they're now suspected of doing more harm than good. So these triptans manipulate serotonin, but their mechanism of action is still not known. Millions of prescriptions for triptans have been written, but a study presented at the 2013 Headache Congress found that there is a heart disease contraindication to taking triptans for at least 5 million Americans. A co-investigator investigator and spokesperson found it a sizable concern, et cetera, et cetera. And I would add that we also need a migraine drug that works in more than 20% of migraine patients, which is the success rate of triptans. So, you know, we're in a bind where they have these drugs that they claim are going to help, and then you find out it's only going to help 20% of people. But, oh, by the way, it's going to harm 50% of people who take it. And yesterday I came across a Medscape article that said nearly half of people with migraines hesitate to seek care. So this was a big problem because they want people to come in so they can prescribe drugs to them. So they went on, and it was a study. They studied, gosh, I don't know how many people. It's in here somewhere. So, you know, a lot of money was spent to try to find out why people hesitate to get migraine care. You know, what's the problem? They wanted to understand this so that they could, you know, coerce them to come in for migraine therapy. But I think why they hesitate is because people with migraines, they have gone to doctors. People who have a severe head pain will go to the doctor and they'll be told, well, you have to take this drug or that drug. Sure, they had side effects with the drugs and they're just not going to go back. You know, they'll try to deal with it on their own. But that was not in the questions that these people were asked about why they were hesitating to get care. So anyway, enough of that. Or actually, then I think the last thing here I had on my paperwork about migraines was it last week or the week before? I talked about a new breakthrough in migraine treatment. It's a calcitonin drug that I realized affected, you know, the thyroid. People with low thyroid have low calcitonin, and therefore they build up calcium and create their magnesium deficiency. So that was it's a big new migraine preventive treatment, this calcitonin. And what I realized, because I've seen so much about migraines lately, is when a new drug comes out for a condition, you'll see a lot of articles about it. You'll see a lot of reference because they're trying to promote the drug. So, Ginny, I do have questions. They're not from today, these migraine questions, but I didn't know. I thought maybe we'd go to the phones earlier if you wanted to, and then we can go back to some of these questions as we continue on. What do you think?
Okay, that sounds wonderful. We can let everybody know that if they want to talk with you live tonight, the number 646-558-8657. And then you have to use the ID number 8836953587. And that's on the YouTube and in our radio programming here at Dream Vision 7, and also in any emails that you receive from us. So, the number's a little long, but a lot of people use it every single week. So I think we're going to be okay. If you're on the line now, hit *9, *9. We'll raise your hand in the studio and let me know you have a question or comment. And then I can put you on with Dr. Dean. And again, those who are live on YouTube, if you want to call in and talk to the show, same thing, number on the screen. We've got lots of people here on the chat line chatting with each other about the topics that you're talking about, Carolyn, on the show, including the side of money and the medical industry, how it works together. And also in response to your question, do you think letter writing helps? And Scott definitely said, I think online letters and digital activism works, but you do have to repeat it over and over again. And I think that's very true, because I know over the last 2 years, we've been asked to support homeopathy's position with the FDA, that it is a reasonable medical practice and should not be, eliminated as a healthcare option by the FDA. And those letter writing campaigns, we have to do them over and over. So, but it's worth it to reinforce the position. And the other thing that Scott said was the other side has a lot of money to influence politicians. And so we do have to remember that we have to fight for the causes that we believe in at the state level. And that is true. That is true.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of have given up and think they have no influence, but we do. And we just have to speak up. And it may not be in the way that we're used to. People, I guess, used to write letters, actual physical letters, but nobody's doing that anymore. So now we go online, or you make phone calls and just leave a voicemail because nobody answers.
That's right. And I think people are discouraged about where their voice does count and how they can influence. But we have to remember, at the end of the day, we still create our own reality. At least that's what Carolyn and I think. And, everybody has a different view on that. But we are, we can influence things. We can't be discouraged. So keep those cards and letters coming. Get them out to the people that you. And again, Carolyn said it's not a political thing. It's it's your money. You should be able to decide how you want to spend it for your health. I mean, it's simple. Scott said, perhaps we can do a show on digital activism sometime. And I thought that was kind of cute, because that would be, I don't know, we probably have Bob, Carolyn's husband, weighing in and trying to dissuade us from that idea. So,
well, I mean, maybe we could have our homeopathy advocate on, and we could cover homeopathy and digital activism. She could tell us how their letter campaign is going.
Yes. Well, it keeps. I don't think they've come to a conclusion. Paola Brown is who you're talking about. I think they haven't come to a strong position either way. They just keep the fever of the people keeps extending the fight, and maybe that's good too. Hold the line type of a thing. So that could be good too. Newer Television made a comment. I read A drug company was approved for a diet pill, which has been used for diabetes, and it's predicted to cost $1,400 a month for a 30% weight loss as long as you keep taking the medication. But I can't possibly believe that could be terrible for you. I mean, good for you, right, Carolyn? That has to be horrid.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I did not look into the side effects. But yes, there are going to be side effects, and $1,300 a month. That now, listen to me. I'm going to say that drug will be covered by your health insurance, but vitamins and minerals will not, and that's what's criminal.
Very good. E-Music said one time on the show, the guy was the attorney who lobbies in Congress. He was very good. Do you think that was Jim? Did we have Jim Turner on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
very good. Excellent.
Yeah. Jim is still hard at work in Washington. Bob has sometimes a weekly call with he and another guy, just shooting ideas around, and yeah, he's still quite active. And he works with the homeopathic lobby too.
Very good. And Scott said, we absolutely create our own reality. The goal for the other side is to wear us down, and we have to let them know that we will never be worn down. That's right, because we're eternal. We have energy for all of eternity. We shall not be worn
down.
That's right.
That's our slogan. I will not be worn down.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Very good. Okay, let's see if we've got some people who want to talk to Dr. Dean this evening. Again, 646-558-8656 with the ID number that rolls out after that. And let's see where we're at with our phone calls. *9 to raise your hand here and let us know you have a question or comment. And so far, nobody's raising their hand, Carolyn, so I think we'll just keep chitty-chatting.
Okay, blog questions then. Okay, so someone is, Mary is saying, I've been suffering with migraines with aura since age 12, and at age 20 diagnosed with clinical depression. I'm now 40. I take Zoloft and not sure which Remag to take for my terrible migraines 15 times a month. Can you help give me the correct dose? Is there side effects to it? I've tried so many things for my migraine, but no hope. Listen to this, Jenny. She says, I get Botox injections every month, took Amvog, and also tried triptans with no hope. I told you about triptans earlier. Should I do the RBC magnesium test like you suggested to see if I'm deficient? Any help from you is highly appreciated. Thank you so much for the great Magnesium Miracle book. So in terms of dosage, it's basically you start with the 1/4 teaspoon and every couple of days add to it. And I think the highest that people take is about 4 teaspoons a day, spread throughout the day. You can't take that in a shot. You really have to spread it through the day so you don't overload your cells. So you start there, but you'd also look at the other nutrients. The omega-3 algae is going to be helpful, as is vitamin D. The Remite is going to be important because it'll support your thyroid and your adrenal glands. Realign for the B vitamins. So it's a whole package there that would help. Who's this? Colleen says, I've suffered with frequent migraines for 30 plus years. I mean, good gosh. If there was a cure, they would have found it. If allopathic medicine had a migraine cure, these people would have found it. I have tried to take many different forms of magnesium on 5 different occasions. Every time I get migraines. Have you heard of this? Do you have any idea why this would happen? I've not tried yours. I believe I need magnesium as my RBC level is 3.9. And that was back in the days when the range was 4.2 to 6.8, I think it was. So she was very low. So with someone who's going to sort of react with taking a magnesium, kind of stirring things up, maybe detoxifying, because some people with magnesium, they just start dumping. She could be dumping heavy metals, and those then circulate and cause toxic headaches. So with someone like that, we would be doing the Remag lotion or spraying Remag on the skin and slowly building up. So it's a toxicity reaction, but she knows she needs it. I mean, we have people actually who start on a few drops of Remag a day and have built up to their 2 and 3 teaspoons. Tanya says, yeah, we have. We know, they call in. Tanya says, I've suffered from migraines for years. Recently, I've developed exercise-induced migraines. I see a specialist who just medicates me. He gave me indomethacin to take pre and post workout, which does help reduce them. And sometimes I have to resort to my migraine medication, a triptan. Do you have any information, research of exercise migraines? Well, it's I think an exercise migraine, it's going to be a magnesium deficiency right there, because you do sweat out your magnesium, you do build up lactic acid, and magnesium helps neutralize it. So it's a good place for magnesium. And I'll do this one more, and then I'll see if we have phone calls. This person, I have waking migraines. Every single time I wake up, there's another migraine that needs 30 minutes of icing down. I do this about 3 times every night. It's exhausting. My migraines are caused by the blood vessels being too dilated, too relaxed. The migraines cause tightness on the sides of the neck because the blood is pumping so hard and so fast through these relaxed vessels that it causes other muscles to tighten. I started taking magnesium for palpitations, anxieties a few years ago. It definitely helps with that. But in the process, I've developed these terrible migraines. I've taken up to 4 teaspoons of Remag a day, but no help. Actually, it made my stools loose, and psyllium didn't help. Backed off to 2 teaspoons. Thought I would go off Remag altogether to see if the migraines would go away, but the palpitations came back. Then she was told to take the Remide. She can't take Restructure because of the inulin sensitivity, catch-22. The migraine pulsates not only in my head now, but through my whole body. It's a debilitating problem. The doctor wants to put me on migraine meds. I just hate that idea. So many side effects. I'm hoping you would have some suggestions. And the poor girl, her name is Joy. How much joy can she have with that all going on? Well, it sounds like kind of a blood vessel thing, with the blood vessels. She said it's like they're dilated. She may be low in calcium. And I would personally think that she would need the omegas, because all the cells in the body are coated with a fatty layer. So the cells in her blood vessels may be weakened. They're not supported properly by the omegas. So to me, this is like a total body meltdown person who probably requires all of our nutrients to build everything up. But yeah, we'll have to work closely with this situation. Okay, Ginny, back to you to see where we're at with phone calls.
Carolyn, somebody did make a comment here on the chat line at Dream Vision 7, our wonderful Nancy, that a lot of times headaches are related to hydration. Did we mention that part?
No, we did not. Thank you, Nancy. Absolutely. Yeah. If you're dehydrated, then even in a sense, your brain kind of shrinks a bit. I mean, that sounds, pretty horrible, but the opposite of that is someone who drinks a lot of water really fast and without a lot of minerals in them. you can actually flood your cells, overhydrate, and you could get water on the brain and cause headaches with too much water, headaches with not enough water. It sounds bizarre, but yeah, hydration is extremely important. People will say when they're out in the sun, oh, I get a headache or whatever. It could be dehydration. Very good, Nancy. Thank you.
Yep. And I know that a lot of people, they think they drink a lot of water. I've noticed this, and you say, how are you doing with your water? And oh, I drink a lot of water. Okay. Well, how much are you drinking? Well, I drink a couple of things a day. Okay. And then it's like, well, if you should be drinking for like little Amy, Carolyn, our little friend in Maui. So based on your weight, you should be drinking 4 liter bottles, the little 20-ounce bottles of water. 4, you know. That's kind of a clue. They're probably not doing that. So yeah, hydration is really important, especially these days, because our environment is just so challenging to keep the water circulating. All right. Well, let's take a phone call here if you'd like to, Carolyn.
Sure.
Yep, absolutely. Area code 203, if you could *6 your phone's 203. We'll raise your hand here and let us know you've got a question or comment. There we go. Hello, welcome.
Jenny. Hey, it's Barb and Linda. How are you doing?
God. What do you guys do? Take a little amphetamines before you call in? Good. Oh, no. You take
No, I'm taking 2 teaspoons. No, I'm taking 2 teaspoons of Remag all day and taking 2 teaspoons of magnesium, magnesium, and then when I need it, I do the silver. And then I always put the salt in the water, and I drink 40 ounces a couple of times. I don't know. I drink a lot of water, so that's a good thing. But I don't have water on my brain. So we're using your Mighty Mash. We're using your Mighty Mash. I had it since last year. And we've been transplanting about a couple of hundred lettuces, organic lettuces. And so I've been out here just doing that. But that's not why I called you. So, but
you really have to let us know how it goes. Take some before and after pictures. Maybe transplant a few in an area without the Mighty Mash. Do the experiment. Yeah. Put you to work.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We can do that. I can definitely do that. And then we just sent our retest in, and I was I was really worried because the last time I did it in Connecticut, we're in Georgia right now, and we're gonna drive to Connecticut at the end of the month. But anyway, when I was in Connecticut, I did the first test, and we couldn't get any blood from my fingers because my blood pressure is so low. So I don't know really what the reason was, but I made that up. So I was dreading doing it the second time, but it was easy the second time because I went for a walk. And I was really overheated when I come back.
Oh, that's a great idea.
This is the time. This is the time. And it was a piece of cake. Yeah. It wasn't cake. It was blood. But, it was...
well, that's a good idea for people to know to do it after they have a walk or after exercise. Get the blood pumping.
Yeah.
Good information.
And then it was real warm that day. So, so it really, 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 really helped. I mean, it was so easy.
Good.
And I didn't have to puncture it. Anyway, we're not going to go back there. We don't want to talk about stuff we don't want. So this is why I'm calling you. Because I was on my way to Zumba. Because I love Zumba. I love working out. And I ran, I was getting in the car and I tripped on the curb. And I twisted real, because I saved myself from falling, but I twisted. So I don't know what I did with the floating rib, but we took a couple X-rays, and they're not sure if it's broken or not. And then the doctor, a real doctor, because I went to the chiropractor first, and he said, have you had a bone density test? Because I looked at the ribs, and they're so... I will never... my my age, I'm always 33 forever because,
Right.
I just feel like it. I just
Uh-huh.
feel like it. But I'm 1944, so I was born.
Right.
So,
Got it.
so,
Yeah.
so anyway, we don't ever want to talk about that because I don't want that in my head. So,
Right.
so anyway, so bottom line is that I didn't go back for a bone density test. It was osteoporosis. I don't like to use labels, but it
Right.
was that because I'm thin, and it doesn't. So I don't really know what the reason is. I don't care what the reason is. I just want to take care of it. So I'm plant-based now, and I'm greens, and I eat so much salad, kale, broccoli,
Uh-huh.
and I get beans, lentils, and I pressure cook them so we don't get much of the lectins or whatever that's not good for you. So I'm very conscious about, I used to teach health. I'm conscious about health. So I do not go back for any bone density tests because it's not a reliable reading. All that stuff that you talk about.
Well,
So
it doesn't change anything. So let me just talk
right.
now. I get the picture.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah,
they
got it.
do with bone density is compare the bones of us in our 70s with someone who's in their 30s. And then they say we have thin bones. But what you do is you keep your muscles strong and you keep your
Yes.
tendons and all that strong. And you
Yeah.
do that by lots of exercise. And I'm not a plant-based person. You
Right.
probably know
Right.
that by now. But
Yes.
if you feel good on plant-based, fine. I absolutely have to have the protein. But you aren't going to change anything if you get a bone density test. They will just want to give you a drug. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Getting the test
Absolutely.
is just going to get into your brain. You've already, they've already sort of talked about it. But as we get older, our bones look different. Okay, I'm sorry, they just look
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So
Oh, they
it
look
does.
different. Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that's a bad thing. I have it in my book somewhere about a woman did some studies in some South American country, and she had a group of young women, and she did their bone densities, and then she came back decades later, apparently found some of the same women, and they were still carrying the big pots on their heads, still lifting and doing everything, and their bones looked thinner, but they still had the
Yes.
same,
Yes.
abilities. So we just have to keep our abilities, because what you see happening, and I did this when I dislocated both my knees rollerblading, it's about 50, yeah, right, both knees gone. And
It's so great. I
I
mean, it's
was,
not great you did that, but
yeah,
it's
but I
great.
did it. So I was walking along like 100-year-old person, because your center of gravity is off. You're afraid you're going to fall. So what happens is, a whole fear-based thing is built up in women, especially when they say, "Oh, your bones are brittle," etc. But you
Yes.
keep your muscles strong, and keep your attitude strong, and we'll be fine. And we've had many of our customers who've told us that their bone density, they keep getting the test just to check it out, but I don't really think it's necessary. But they'll say their density gets better or it just stops, and their doctors are surprised because their doctors just keep saying, "Oh, you'll get worse and worse," and
Yes.
that's not right, not true.
Yes.
Okay,
So my question to you, can I just give you a question? That's my
go ahead.
question is that I ordered the 2 calcias that I used to have, and I stopped doing it because I thought you said you shouldn't take it every day, and then I thought, well, I probably don't need it anymore. But now that this thing was going on, and I look at my ribs and they're so light, the rib picture is so light compared to my arm,
Oh yeah,
my upper
right,
arm. And
right.
that was darker. And I said, how come? Oh, he said, that's your age. And he said, no, I said, I don't get any of those reasons. I said, I'm going to be jumping. I jump in, I do a lot of jumping in Zumba, high impact. And,
Right,
and I know that that's
right.
good for your bones. So
And
that's my question.
do you carry little weights when you walk?
Yeah, I don't do that. but I do
That's
weight.
very good because your rib cage is, your arms sort of are connected to your rib cage, and that's in. So I just carry a 3-pound weight, and I pass it back and forth, and I do curls and make get my triceps going. So you do that as well. And what were you stopped taking Recalcia, did you say?
I did. I did, and that was silly. And I ordered 2 of them, and they should be arriving any time now.
Right. So what you do is take 2. I personally would take 2 teaspoons a day, and just watch what happens to the rest of you. Because if it's too much calcium, or if you're pushing your magnesium, you might need a little extra magnesium as well. Okay. Because they sort of fight with one another. And myself, I just take 1 teaspoon of Recalcia a day because I do eat a lot of dairy now. But, your greens are probably going to give you a couple 100 milligrams of calcium. But if you want to build up your bones, and then you just tell your body, you just say, take this calcium, put it on my bones, just reinforce what you want it to do. Okay?
Yes, I got it. No, I completely get that. So you think 2 teaspoons, it's not going to end up around my heart. It's not going to do, they said that don't do that liquid stuff. I was taking liquid years ago. No,
this stuff is the picometer size calcium, so it's just going to go into your cells. It's not going to precipitate. It's not a calcium compound that'll precipitate. So you'll be fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, and I let everybody know. I mean, it's just the best source of minerals that we can take. But, you're just fabulous. And we bought it for a friend of ours. She's starting to take it. She's feeling better. And we sent, sometimes people just don't have the means, to buy it. So we'll just do that. So it's good that we have.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, that you guys, you're passing it on, and it's just, it comes back to you. You know that it comes back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you. Okay. And I really appreciate you guys. All right.
Oh, thank you. And great question. I'm sure it helped a lot of people. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
But he's doing good, by the way.
Oh,
but he's doing very good.
Oh,
and I'm putting drops in his nose, like you said. He's doing much better. So,
good.
So
just remind people.
Silver.
Hi ho silver.
Good old silver.
So
it's
he
really
was
helping
having
more than any antibiotic. Absolutely.
Yeah. So was it a sinus infection? I forget what Buddy had.
Well, he has it. It's chronic. It's just chronic. For years and years he's had it. But he's just he's being able to breathe a lot more. And I just take the little drops. I put it in the nose and I lift them back. I hold them, and then Linda just puts the drops in his nose, and he's doing a lot better. He's like 20, and he eats, and he just sleeps all day, and then he sits up straight, and he's a black cat, and he looks so beautiful. He's the man of the house,
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, thanks again.
Okay. Bye, Barb. Bye, Linda.
Right.
Take care.
Take
care. Bye-bye.
All right, Carolyn, we've got to take a break. We're at the top of the hour. Boom, and we'll be right back.
Very good.
We'll be back with Hour 2 of the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with host Ginny Sanders, right after this brief station break. can also get updates and resources online by visiting drcarolyndean.com. That's drcarolyndean.com.
Did you know there are 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency? Magnesium deficiency is a public health crisis growing in scope and proportion. Dr. Carolyn Dean, author of The Magnesium Miracle, has identified over 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency, 100 factors that lead to magnesium deficiency, and 24 reasons why magnesium deficiency occurs. Order The Magnesium Miracle today at Amazon.com and learn how to remedy this pervasive condition.
Do you have questions about your health? Are you wondering about alternatives? Do you ever wish you could have 5 minutes with a doctor you can trust? Someone who is an internationally recognized authority in the field of natural medicine? Meet award-winning doctor, naturopath, and best-selling author of The Magnesium Miracle, Carolyn Dean, MD, ND. Hear a wealth of information designed to empower listeners and callers to discover how to improve health, vitality, and well-being through a variety of safe strategies and nutritional options. Dr. Carolyn Dean Live. Shows can be heard every Monday, 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern, with weekly live shows, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network.
Natural health, vitality, and well-being. Yes, everyone wants it, but not everyone is sure how to achieve it. Dr. Carolyn Dean's Completement Formulas are more than just dietary supplements. They're whole foods and picometer minerals designed to complete your nutrition, not just supplement it. Experience the difference Dr. Dean's formulas make. Visit RNAreset.com to learn more. That's RNARESET.com.
Omega Institute, offering workshops, retreats, and online learning dedicated to awakening the best in the human spirit. With more than 40 years at the forefront of holistic studies, Omega is known the world over as a trusted source for integrated approaches to personal growth and social change. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org or call 877-944-2002. Again, 877-944-2002.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
We return now to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders. Phone lines are open during live broadcast.
All righty, welcome back, hour 2, everybody. Dr. Carolyn Dean live here on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network and also on YouTube, podcasts, Castos, every podcasting system you can even imagine, and the whole widest of all the widest worlds has Dr. Dean's radio show as well. They should. Very important information. And I'm just also reminding everybody that if you've heard anything during this broadcast or any other broadcast that you have questions about after the show's over, especially those listening to the replay, don't hesitate to email us at our radio show email, questions, questions, questions at drcarolyndeanlive.com, questions at drcarolyndeanlive.com. And Melody Rose, our faithful radio show supporter and transcriber of all good things and keeper tracker of all emails, will search out your answer and get you the information you need or put you in contact with Dr. Dean. So we're always there for you in that regard. And the other thing we want to say is we do have callers holding, but we had a question or two that came over from last hour, Carolyn, that I wanted to make sure we got to. You ready?
Yes, yes. Speaking of Melody Rose, she just emailed in, and she said we literally have dozens of emails from customers saying, "I have a migraine every day. Help!" Isn't that incredible?
Mm, 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 mm.
And seriously, why don't people know? Why don't doctors know? Why doesn't the media talk about, well, magnesium can help your migraines? I mean, people are debilitated
Mm.
with it. Head pain is the worst pain. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, it's really unfortunate. And the other thing that I know from myself personally, and I had this experience for years and I've relied on it, is whenever I start to get a headache, it's more of a tension headache than a migraine. I just take the Remag and pour it in my hand and literally slap it on my forehead.
Right.
You know, the topical use of Remag over the forehead or at the base of your neck is incredible. It just zooms right in there and starts bamming, getting things going. And, you know, those little mitochondria require that electron chain to boost your energy and to you know, strengthen your magnet so you can get more good things going. So yeah, don't hesitate to just put Remag anywhere on the topical part of your body. Yes, definitely.
Well, think about what Barbara was saying, you know, the Barb and Linda team about their cat Buddy, 20 years old, a couple weeks ago, maybe even just last week, asking, well, what can we do for Buddy? Chronic breathing problem. So I said, well, shoot it up at his nose. And so they're doing that. They're dropping a pico silver in his nose. I guess he accepts it and he's doing much better. But chronic sinus infection and blockage can trigger headaches.
Yes.
I mean, we all know this. And 97% of headaches can be fungal. That's according to the Mayo Clinic. And what have we learned with our Pico Silver, our good customer service person, Julie? She got rid of a 20-year sinus problem when silver came along, and we tell people to snort it. You can get the cutest little, I have purple little glass vials with a little spout on it that you squirt in your nose, and I do that a couple times a day. I think what I'm doing is keeping ahead of the mucus buildup from all the dairy I eat. So yeah, I'll eat my heavy whipping cream, berries, restructure, and cacao powder. I can't give that up, but I'll squirt my Pico Silver, and I don't build up mucus in my nostrils or as a postnasal drip. I don't really get sinus blockage anymore, but I certainly did when I was a kid from all the dairy. And I was addicted to Drisdan nasal spray for Pete's sakes when I was a kid, just to keep my nostrils open. So, and I probably had headaches. I forget. I mean, I was just so active anyway. So you can get sinus headaches. How you know it's a sinus problem is when you bend over, your head kind of pounds, because to keep our skulls from being too heavy, we have 8 areas in the face bones that are scooped out, and those are what our sinuses are. Sinuses, you know, scooped out area, and lining the sinuses is mucous membranes. And if you have an infection, those mucous membranes swell and they stop draining. The little, you know, drops of mucus stop draining because the drainage holes are blocked up from the swelling. So you get this, you know, horrible round of pain and then infection, and it can get bacterial. And what do the doctors do? They give you high doses of very strong antibiotics. And the worst is that the fluoride antibiotic, good grief, am I not remembering? What's the
Oh, yeah.
word?
Ciprofloxacin.
Yeah, the
Ciprofloxacin.
Cipros. Yeah. So they will give you this incredibly
Mm-hmm.
powerful drug called ciprofloxacin in order to treat something that could be a fungal infection in the first place. And the Cipro antibiotic is going to cause you more yeast overgrowth. And Cipro is a fluoroquinolone antibiotic, and it has fluoride in it. And, it says, right on it, fluoroquinolones. And so the fluoride is going to bind up your magnesium and create potentially magnesium deficiency symptoms. And the worst cases are the poor athletes who, they'll get an infection before an event and, oh, well, I better take an antibiotic. They'll take Cipro. They'll be exercising their little hearts out, and they don't have any magnesium, and they will rip a tendon. And tendon rips are a common side effect of Cipro, and nobody knows why. But I just explained why. Because they'll bind magnesium. You don't have magnesium to relax your muscles and tendons, so you stretch them and rip them. Horrible.
Yeah, it's the worst. And that
Right.
Cipro, as we know, there's forums and all
Mhm.
kinds of things supporting people who have that Cipro toxicity. It's just straight up evil.
So we've round about, I was talking about sinus infections, headaches. It's your gateway to yeast overgrowth when you have a sinus infection, because you're bound to get high dose antibiotics. And I'm saying, I would use Pico Silver before anything else orally. I've taken up to 6 teaspoons a day throughout the day when I was faced with, I guess, my second last respiratory infection. I think my last respiratory infection was probably what's the word that we're not supposed to say? There's something 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that. So, I got my antibodies. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay, where are we at now there, little girl?
Okay, we are about ready to do a couple more questions off the chat line. One of which is Joe sending you a question saying, is there any relationship between anemia and magnesium deficiency?
Magnesium does help iron absorption. So I think we've had people tell us that when they start to take magnesium, their anemia improved. But I mean, I don't think I even wrote about that very much in my Magnesium Miracle book. Let me just, I'll pull up my book, Joe. I have it in a Word document. And what I'll do as soon as it's up, and there it is, I'll type in iron. I love this technology. And see, okay. What I have here, the first thing is magnesium is a central mineral in plant blood or chlorophyll, much like iron is a central mineral in hemoglobin. So that's a very neat fact. Iron impedes magnesium absorption. That's interesting. No. Two minerals used therapeutically, iron and magnesium, for restless legs, right? No. I just have, there's a note here I have in the book. It talks about an indication of, low magnesium is taking iron without magnesium. So I think it's more like taking iron will bump your magnesium.
Mm.
So, I mean, not that there couldn't be some reference. You could probably go to google.scholar and see if there's any research. They would start with animal research and just type in iron and magnesium and see what comes up.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Dean. Very good. Okay. Also, Scott. Okay, here's a question for Scott. He tried to call into the show, but for some reason the technology was not cooperating. But as our faithful producer Rachel pointed out, Mercury is in retrograde or something of that nature. So who knows what's going to happen with all this technology. But Scott says, I have an issue with nocturia.
Nocturia. It means getting up at night to urinate.
Oh, okay. I take 2 teaspoons of Remag and also Remite, Pico Potassium, and Recalcia. I drink about 100 to 120 ounces per day as I am 120 kilograms. So I think he's trying to figure out what the solution might be. Is he drinking too much water or something of that nature?
Right. Yeah, Scott, that is a drag. I know when I drink later in the day, I'm up at night. So you'll have to, and I'm sure you have already, experiment with how late even in the afternoon you can drink, and maybe even cutting back on your water a bit, because you have to, kind of weigh out the sort of the side effects of waking up at night, especially if it's a couple times at night. If I eat late, I'll get up in the middle of the night to urinate. So cut back a bit on the water and get your water drunk in the early part of the day. As soon as I get up, I'm drinking or try to drink 16 ounces of my sea salt water, even before I go for my walk. When I come back, I'll have another 8-10 ounces. Along with, I start drinking my minerals then. And an hour or so later, I'll have my psyllium seed with another 10 ounces of sea salt water. And on it goes. And usually I've got all my water down, by late afternoon. So see what you can do with just changing the timing. And with the minerals, yes, we do tell people, and people tell us, that when they are taking their minerals and their sea salt water, they don't get up as much at night. They don't have ankle edema, because the water follows the minerals into the cells and doesn't end up just dropping into the bladder. So there.
Very good. Excellent. Yes. I think that's really common, that a lot of people notice they have less frequent urination when they're using the minerals and the sea salt. Scott says that he has experimented with it. And of course, he uses the sea salt water too. I wonder, it's not a solution for how much water you drink, but certainly using some of the minerals topically might help. And then, stop drinking earlier in the day. I know I do the same thing. I get up and knock out as much water as I can first thing in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, that really helps. And by, 6 o'clock, I'm not drinking any more water. Yeah, very good. Okay, excellent. All right, Patrick is asking about Answers dog food. No, Patrick, I haven't heard about it, but I'm going to look it up while we're chatting here today and see what's going on.
What are you looking up? I missed the word.
Patrick was asking me if I have heard of Answers, ANSWERS. It's raw fermented dog food, and he's giving it to his dog along with Pico Silver and Flora Revive, and then he's putting the Remag and Remite and potassium, and of course that is one happy doggy. So but I hadn't heard of it. I'll have to look it up. Okay, very good. Shall we do some phone calls?
Oh, sure.
Okay, 646-558-8657 is the number to call. And again, that number is 8836953587 with press the pound key to get into the call. And we've got area code 562 waiting, 562. If you could hit *6 on your phone and unmute to talk with Dr. Dean. There you are. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, this is Nancy again.
Okay. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. Interesting about the magnesium, migraine headaches. I have a friend of a friend that has a little 9-year-old girl that goes in the hospital multiple times a month because of migraines and seizures. Magnesium ought to help with that, right?
It would. Even the seizures can be helped, but I don't know exactly what she's got, of course, but certainly that's the place to start with the Remag, and also it could be the omega-3 algae and the vitamin D could be very helpful because they're the fatty layers of the neurons in the brain can only be benefited by those fats and oils.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll follow up with some more questions with that.
And your friend of a friend can call our customer service and get some input. We would maybe email a section of my book that talks about seizures, that sort of thing. There's this whole book out of Australia, a university in Australia, that has a book about the central nervous system and migraines. And, when someone prints that book up and takes it to their doctor and plunks it down and says, look, I want to talk about magnesium, because when this little girl goes into hospital, they probably put up an IV and hydrate or probably give her drugs. But if they put up magnesium in the drip, that could really turn things around.
Right. Well, part of the problem is the friend is not into anything but ordinary medicine. So to be able to get a message to the other person.
Right, I understand, of course. And
it gets all complicated.
It does. You can only help people who are willing to be helped.
Right. And sometimes you have a roadblock because you don't have direct contact with that other person. So who knows?
Right.
Anyway, I'm chasing rabbits all over the place. Occasionally, I'm not particularly concerned about it because it doesn't happen very often, but it did happen once or twice recently, which is like probably years since I've done it, but it started when I was in high school. Occasionally, I will have a visual migraine.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There'll just be a slight headache, but then there's this visual thing, and it usually lasts for like 30 minutes, and then it goes away.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Is there anything I was supposed to do about that in particular besides just squint hard to read during the 30 minutes?
Yeah, it would be interesting if you took some extra Remag if that were to happen. But, yeah, okay. They call it a migraine with an aura, A-U-R-A, the visual migraines. And some people don't even have a clue what they are, but it is a type of migraine, and magnesium can be very helpful for it.
Okay, well, I'll try it and see if it shortens the 30 minutes, because the first time I had it, I was sitting in an English class in high school, and I was like, oh, Lord, what is happening? Part of my vision is gone, and I have no idea what's causing it.
I know.
Scary.
Very scary. I agree.
But by the time class was over, it was gone. But anyway, okay, I'm chasing another rabbit. Now, let me get over to, you were talking about water consumption and that sort of stuff. Sometimes I can go for a little stretch of time and I don't have any hot flashing, and then I'll start hot flashing again. And sometimes my clothes get soppy. Do I add some extra water during that time?
Yes. You are losing a fair bit of water when that happens, and you're losing magnesium. So, if you take more water and sea salt and more Remag, that could shorten the flashing or, stop it from happening right away again. I know it's, people tell me that. My mom, she was having hot flashes up until the day she died. It was amazing. So it does happen. And I think it is probably related to magnesium deficiency.
Okay, because when I had low blood sugar, blood test and all that, proven that I had hypoglycemia in my 20s, and I was hot flashing then, and I hot flashed some during that time. And then later in my 30s, I guess it was, mid-30s, I don't know. I had a complete hysterectomy. Of course, they put me on hormone replacement. So I don't have this big, huge story about hot flashing because of female stuff, but I do because of the hypoglycemia. And then I think I've had it too because of what else? Something. Can the thyroid make you wonky?
It's more the adrenal glands. When you have the adrenals, like the type of thing where it's a low blood pressure as well, and it's where you can get a shock, and then your heart palpitates, and then you break out into a sweat. So it's more the adrenals, and then of course that's more the B vitamins in our Realign, the salt in the sea salt water, and the vitamin C's. Those are the things that settle down the adrenals.
Now, if I take the vitamin C capsule and I drink a lot of water at that time, am I washing that right on through my system?
Well, your body will grab what it wants. It's circulating. You know how the blood pumps through the body, whatever, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times before it gets to your bladder.
So as long as I've got the, your weight in half and ounce, whatever that thing is,
right.
as long as I've got that right, then I don't need to worry about washing out the vitamin C.
No, you do not.
Okay, all right. Now the hot flashes, okay, but now it has seemed like my thyroid, and I've always read or whatever that if you got thyroid issues, you've got adrenal issues. So,
correct. Yeah, that's true. And, that's my underlying reason for making the Remite is to get those 9 thyroid minerals into everybody on the planet. So that if you're taking your Remite, a teaspoon and a half a day.
I'm taking 4 teaspoons.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's fine.
But I'm taking 4.5 of Remag, and I'm taking 4 teaspoons of potassium.
Yeah.
And 2 teaspoons of recalcia.
You're a high roller then. You're right.
But the funny thing is, and it went away for a while, but now I will end up with sort of kind of cramping feet, and sometimes in the morning I'll wake up and have my feet be cramping. And I've taken all that magnesium. What in the sun's going on?
I see. Well, yeah, it's hard to say. What's your exercise program look like, Nancy?
I walk about 10 minutes a day, twice a day.
Can you do more?
Oh, I don't know, because I can do it in the morning, and then when I try to do it in the evening, it's like I'm really pushing it to be able to get one foot in front of the other to get around that circle.
Right. Well, what about, doing some stretches? Just get on the internet and find a yoga stretch class, or, just something that you can do every day, because there's something about, you really need to move those muscles and stretch them. I think they're just getting a little too happy being stuck where they are. You have to stretch them.
Right. Okay. I can do that.
Okay.
And I've got a particular thing that I do, and I have been known to do it, but not doing it right now. But the hot flashes, they come and go.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't know why, with the level of, liquid in the body, or a little bit of a spurt from your adrenal glands. It just okay, look at it this way. It just lets you know you're alive. Okay?
Okay. So don't worry about it and drink a little extra water.
That's right. Okay.
Now, how do I know how much salt to add to any extra water? Or can I just add?
Same thing, quarter teaspoon to a liter. I mean, I'm putting a quarter teaspoon in 16 ounces now. So it's
Right.
a little extra salt. I mean, you could do that. You could add a little extra salt instead of a quarter teaspoon, maybe a quarter plus an eighth of a teaspoon in a liter. It could be that you just need a little more sodium for the adrenals.
Okay.
Because with all that, with all that water and all those minerals, you probably need to balance it with a little more sea salt.
Okay. Now, what you were talking about when you first drink, like you can drink 16 ounces or whatever, you do it with your sea salt water. What I've been doing is I end up drinking it's got salt in it, but it's also got the minerals in it, and I drink a good bit of that first thing in the morning. Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Oh, that's fine. That's good. That's good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Great.
No.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, they're great questions. Everybody's just hanging on your questions because you've covered a lot. You really have. And I do appreciate it. I love questions.
Thank you, because I sure like to ask them.
I know it must be so tough on folks, who have all these questions, and doctors won't answer the questions anymore. They'll give you one question, say, come back and ask me the next question next time.
Well, and even if you ask them, like the things I've asked you, they don't know the answers to them anyway.
Oh, right. That's true too. Right.
So it's like, why bother?
Why bother? Right. Well, we totally appreciate you calling in and asking these questions, and you just keep doing it. Okay, Nancy?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
How wonderful. Yeah. Great questions, everybody.
I know.
Yeah. Very, very good. Very good. Absolutely.
Such a sweetie. Yeah.
Absolutely. Carol said, I know for me, if I have too much sugar in any form, I get hot flashes. I feel the sugar depletes my magnesium.
Oh my gosh, of course the sugar, but I think Nancy's pretty good on her diet, but that definitely does affect people. Sugar, it's so sad to say that for some people it can be like a poison. It's very sad.
Yep. Yeah, especially as we know, based on your blood type, there's certain blood types that just don't have the capacity to deal with sugar.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables that go into your biological health, for sure.
And it bounces your vitamin C. Sugar and vitamin C compete for the same carrier protein. And if there's a lot of sugar, you have your can of soda with 10 teaspoons of sugar, then it's going to trap all those receptors, take the sugar into your cells, and ditch the vitamin C. The vitamin C, that's when the vitamin C, you're going to urinate that out and not get it into your cells. Wow.
Yeah, very good. That body, very precise in all of its functions, knows what it's doing. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't know what we're doing when we overload it with silly stuff. Yeah, absolutely. All right, very good. If you have a question tonight for Dr. Carolyn Dean, the number 646-558-8657. And again, that ID number is 8836953587. Come on into the call, hit *9 if you're here now to talk to Dr. Dean, *9. Will raise your hand and let me know you have a question or comment. Otherwise, I don't know that you want to talk with her and your phone remains on mute. And right now we don't have any raised hands for new callers.
Okay. Right, then we'll go to the next question on our migraine topic. Paulette says, please send me the link regarding neti pot and tea tree oil. Okay, I think she was at that's something treating sinuses. That's what we used to use is a neti pot, but now I just squirt the Pico Silver. It's so much easier than, hanging over a sink trying to squirt a whole, cup of water up your snout. So yeah, just use the Pico Silver. Any links regarding migraines in relationship to keto diet? I was feeling well, she says, until I decided to eat more keto. And since then, I don't seem to be able to get enough magnesium because I'm getting migraines and leg cramps. I'm thinking that the diuretic effect of the keto is the culprit. I'd love to know what Dr. Dean would do if she were in that situation. Well, what we've talked about is that the keto, it doesn't have enough fiber, so people can get constipated. It doesn't have enough vegetable carbs with minerals, so you are getting magnesium deficient. And people need extra magnesium even for the detox. What did they call it? The keto flu, Ginny?
Yeah, keto flu.
Right, you looked into that, and a lot of the keto people started talking about magnesium and what was being missed with the keto diet. So there you have it, people getting these magnesium deficiency symptoms when they make a shift in their diet. And certainly the keto diet is a big shift. Often you're eating more dairy on the keto diet, and that will bump off your magnesium as well. So that's that answer. Unless do you have anything more on keto?
Oh, yeah. Oh, not on keto, just questions.
Okay, go ahead. Because I do have some testimonials to go to, but we'll take the live chat questions first.
Okay, chat questions and a couple phone calls then coming in. Carol said, sorry, wait a minute. I didn't want to do that. We talked about the sugar. And Christy asked, would magnesium help in any way with GERD?
It does. It does in terms of when GERD, the gastroesophageal reflux syndrome, when that's related to the stomach being in a bit of spasm, or the diaphragms being in a bit of spasm, or the lower esophageal sphincter being in spasm, magnesium can relax all that and allow the food just to go where it should instead of backing up. So we've definitely seen that, haven't we, Ginny, in our customer base?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And you also have to be, kind of careful about the eating, chewing well, not drinking a lot of liquids with meals, eating smaller portions. I mean, there's a time when, we're very active or younger, quote unquote, where we metabolize faster and can eat big, huge meals. And then there's a time when we're a little more sedentary and we can't eat the big meals because we're not metabolizing them. I have all that information in my Future Health Now encyclopedia. We don't have that for free anymore, do we, Ginny? We had to take it off our site because we would have gotten accused of giving medical advice. But it is available on Amazon.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
all right.
Good.
Couple phone calls. Let's go to area code 678. 678. If you can hit *6 and unmute your phone. Area code 678. 678. There you go. Very good. Welcome to the call. Can I ask, give us your name and then your question or comment for Dr. Dean.
Sylvia Henderson.
Wonderful.
Can
you hear me?
Yes, Sylvia. Go ahead.
Okay. Awesome. Hi, Dr. Dean. Thank you so much. You're so vast. to all of us. I appreciate you.
Oh,
Listen, my question is, you're
Mhm.
welcome. You're welcome. My question is, I wanted to know, my daughter is doing, can't remember the name of it, but it's the hormone therapy by Suzanne Summers.
Okay,
I don't know
right.
I don't know if you're familiar or not, but
Yeah, the
she
bioidentical hormones, yeah.
okay. Well, anyway, she my daughter's 24, I think, and she's trying to tell me that I need to do that particular thing that she's doing, which I don't have anything against it. It's just that, she was so excited because when she first got started, first of all, it cost an arm and a leg, and then she actually had her cycle started again at 44. And then I
Ah,
thought, that doesn't excite me. I'm
no,
66. I don't want to do that again.
no.
So my question is, I don't think that would be recommended for me, but I just wanted to know, as far as your products that you sell, I think I have pretty much most of your products, with the exception of maybe one or two items. And I wanted to know what I heard you talk about, the adrenal. Okay. Now, I think that I may have some issues in that area too. So what would be the product, again, that I would use for that?
Okay, so let me then back up. Let me just say, just for you, Sylvia, and for the listeners, what I think about the bioidentical hormones. I personally use a little bit of progesterone and estrogen in a cream that I apply vaginally, and I use.
Okay.
I had horrible hot flashes. I went through menopause in my 40s at a very stressful time when we were living in Manhattan. I was doing an AIDS AIDS experiment, project, and it was very stressful. So I didn't get rid of them for a long time, and finally I said, okay, I've got to do something. So I would only use a bioidentical as a vaginal cream to help with vaginal atrophy and bad hot flashes. Anything else, usually a woman can deal with the right amount of magnesium and all the other formulas that we have. With the adrenals, the focus there is on with Realign, which is the B vitamins.
Okay.
The Remag, of course, and the vitamin C's. Those are the three
Okay.
basic things. And, along
Okay.
with Remag, we tell people to take the multiple, which is the Remite. And if there are any heart issues, the Pico Potassium. So,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying about adrenals: Realign, Remag, vitamin C, Remite, and Pico Potassium, and it does
Okay.
100 other things as well. We've had customers who've told us that they had 20 different kind of menopausal symptoms that went away just with Remag. So we know it's very important. Very important.
Okay. That sounds good, because I too was just like you, where I stopped my cycle at a very young age. I think I was probably 42. Yeah, probably 42, and it never ever returned. So I think that's a good idea. And the other thing that I wanted to add, and I'll let you go after that. Thank you so much. I wanted to tell Jenny, I think I sent her an email. I wanted to tell Jenny that that I live right around the corner from Tyler Perry's studio.
Oh.
And yeah, right around the corner. And it's not even 10 minutes away. And I'd love to present your product line or whatever, however you guys do that. It would be very exciting for me. So I just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah. Well, he's an amazing human being. He really is.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He
Yeah.
really, really is. He really is. But
Yeah.
anyway, I just wanted to let you know that, Jenny.
Well,
if you'd be
I want
interested.
you to know I did get your message, and I think I
Okay,
went to
good.
pick up the phone and call you about 12 times and never did get there.
You called me 12 times?
No, I said I thought about doing it, but then I would get distracted and I didn't get it done.
She called you in her mind,
Yes.
Sylvia.
Yes,
Yeah,
I called you
Jenny,
in my mind.
Jenny, you sound a lot like me. I do that all the time. All the time.
Well, we're happy you
Unbelievable.
got through today to us. We're happy you've completed the call to us. That's wonderful.
And so am I. So am I. But Jenny, if you're interested, I'd love to be able to help you with that.
No, I am interested because, Tyler Perry was one of the few people that actually hit it on the head about the challenge in the African American community with COVID because of their inclination to not have appropriate vitamin D levels because of melatonin. And so he made a public service announcement video about it, and he was very aggressive in covering that. And we would love to let him know that we've got very affordable, high quality, high dose products for everybody, and let him know that.
Yeah, and I watched that.
Yeah.
By him.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. So if you're interested, get back to me. I'm available. I'm retired, so I don't have to go to work.
Okay. Well, I do have your number right here, Sylvia, and I will get a hold of you.
Awesome.
Yeah. I will.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. And Dr. Dean,
yes,
I love you thoroughly. And I think your products are phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. And I give you a big hug. Here's Bob. What's Bob wanted to say?
We drove by his mansion 2 summers ago in July. NGW knows him, so maybe I should never help her.
Oh, yeah, we have, apparently we have a connection with Tyler Perry, but yeah, we don't promote ourselves to popular figures. We play really low key, but if you're coming forth and saying this, I mean, we have what we call a practitioner's kit, or a kit that goes out to people to educate them. So I
understand.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Jenny will take care of it.
In whatever capacity would be fine. I just like to help.
That's very sweet. We
love help at every level. We love people who want to help celebrities, and we love people who want to help their retired Vietnam veteran who's struggling with his pension. So any way you look at it, we love help, and we'll figure it out. Absolutely. Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay, sounds good, and thank you guys so much. And Dr.
Thank
Dean,
you.
Keep up the excellent work that you're doing.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Sylvia.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care.
Okay, blessings.
Okay.
Oh, very good. That's very sweet. Yes, I do have her number sitting right here. Seriously, on my list of things to do. So that's great. Okay, let's go to, I think we're down to area code 917. 917, you're on the line with Dr. Dean. If you could hit *6 and then give us your name and ask your question or comment. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Dr. Dean.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I know that voice. My New York nemesis. My New York nemesis. Oh,
that's right. You bet. Doctor, I'm going to ask you a question, not about health. How about doing audio, like you talk about 30 or 40 minutes? Because a lot of people, it takes time. I need time to sit down and read. So sometimes I don't have time for that. Sometimes I walk the dog. I walk like almost 2 hours every day.
Okay, let me turn you over to Jenny, who will tell you about our podcasts and webinars. I've got thousands of hours of audio. Don't I, Jenny?
Yes, yeah. David, I can send you to...
Yes.
Listen, David, listen.
Yes.
We've got tons and tons and tons of audio. We've got webinars and video, YouTube.
Can I go to an audio library?
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, send me the link.
Yes, I will do it.
I'm just not a technology guy. That's it.
That's okay.
All.
No problem. I know how to do it, and
All
I
right.
know how to send you a link. No problem.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
agree. I mean, I don't have time to sit for videos. It's the same
Or
for me.
read, yeah.
Or read, right, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, that's great. We'll send that to you, David. How are you? Okay. Otherwise, you're good.
No, I'm just nervous. I'm just upset about the whole thing with the corona, but that's it. That's all.
Oh, I
That's
know
all.
it is very frustrating, but I mean, you went through it, and you have the antibodies, and you don't, hopefully you're not.
Yeah, they want to force it on me too.
No, you cannot.
Yes.
No.
Well, okay. All right.
Yeah. Fight for it.
Thank you, Doc.
Fight for your health, David.
I do.
I
do.
I know you
I'm
do.
I'm an activist. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, we appreciate you, David. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's very sad. New York is such a mess. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're caught up. Let's see. We've done 678. I know we did 562. And did we do 937? 937, have you had your chance on the microphone tonight with Dr. Dean? *6 your phone if you're still there wanting to talk with Dr. Dean. Very good. Go ahead, please, love.
Yeah, Carolyn Dean, this is David Hosteller calling.
Dave, is it? Hello?
Yeah, David. Yeah, hi. Yeah, just a quick question. You were talking about the sugars competing with the vitamin C. Is that also true with like honey and maple syrup, or is that just sugar?
Apparently, it's the same for all of them. It's when the sugars break down to a glucose, and the glucose will compete with vitamin C. Where do I have that written, Jim? Shoot. It might be in the Total Body Immunity book, and we have to change that book to Total Body Defense. We're not allowed to talk about immunity anymore. But actually, I can have Jackie print that up and send it to you, the section about vitamin C and sugar, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's very, I mean, it's just so mind-boggling to think that sugar is doing that. It's pushing out the vitamin C from getting to our cells where it needs to be to fight the infection. I mean, it's very, it's very frightening actually how much we've allowed sugar to take over. And fructose, it's the same, or it's a little worse even with fructose, because fructose has to go through a type of metabolism in the liver. So fructose puts more strain on the liver than does just ordinary table sugar. So, that's where in our restructure, we put stevia. We're not putting in any of these modified sugars. We just went straight to a very good organic stevia.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested in reading that and
okay, David.
Reading more up on that.
I know. Very good.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell Jackie.
Okay.
Okay, very good. I've got the note here. Okay, all done. You take care now, and thank you for calling in. I think this is 2 weeks in a row.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Ginny, let's, my volume is still up.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Let's just do one thing before the top of the hour. We've got just about 3 minutes. Vivian's asking, what do you recommend for peripheral neuropathy?
Well, that's usually caused by blood sugar, the diabetes, not entirely, but that's where magnesium is very important. Blood sugars are very important. Even if you, heaven forbid, I say it's a diabetic thing, but it can be just from eating too much sugar, and it hasn't shown up as diabetes yet. So it's no sugars, going on a yeast-free program. Could be that there's yeast overgrowth, so that would be the yeast management, which would be Flora Revive and Pico Silver, and certainly the Remag to heal up the nerves.
Outstanding. Very good. With just 2 minutes, I will let everybody know that next week, Dr. Dean and I are going to be side by side in her hometown of Maui. Yes, I have the terrible burden of being summoned by my boss to her home.
Cindy, you get over here right now. You get on that plane and get over here. We've got work to do.
That's right. So anyway, you guys, it's going to be fun. I don't know what the topic is going to be, but it's going to be fun. So everybody tune in again next week. We're going to be together doing something super silly, I'm sure, but hopefully totally beneficial. And our great honor always to serve everyone who listens tonight. Thank you for all the participation on YouTube, and of course, Deborah and Rachel, and then everybody on your end, and all those listening to the archives. Carolyn, your parting thoughts?
Parting thoughts. Yeah, it was a great show. We really do depend on our listeners to call in and ask questions, because they're going to bring up things that probably I haven't thought of, or people on the chat are always going to help us, remind us, oh, what about dehydration? And what about the sugars and the vitamin C? So we truly appreciate the interaction. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy it.
It is. Very much, very much. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. And we will again be back next week with another great show and another more wisdom from Dr. Dean.
Yay.
Yay.
You've been listening to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show. For questions about today's broadcast, email Dr. Dean at questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com. That's questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.